Hi, I'm Joanne Fennelly from Fennelly's work with Tom. I'm going to tell you a little bit about a project that's taken place in our school with a group of children who have all got statements to support their educational needs. I've been very lucky that we had a filmmaker, Christian Green, who filmed the process. So in a minute I'm going to sit down and you'll be able to watch the part of the film. The film goes on a bit longer, but we'll just watch a clip of it. But the background of the project is that we wanted to test out a theory of working in the school using design thinking principles, and we wanted to see how we could use ICT and develop speech and language with a group of children who have all got statements for their moderate learning difficulties and speech and language needs. So you'll see Tom in a second, and me talking, and hopefully some of the children as well.
Our World, My Future presentations came from an idea where we saw children in other schools, often very gifted children, talking about their interests, maybe presenting about their learning in forums such as TEDx and other formal presentations. And really then, when we looked at the children in our school, and in particular in our DSP, where we've got children with really specific needs around speech and language and moderate learning difficulties, and we thought, well, what if these children could have a chance to stand on a stage and present and talk in those sorts of situations?
I jumped at the chance and thought it would be a great opportunity for the children in the DSP to really get their teeth into a new way of working and a new project.
And the first thing we did, Leanne, we watched a video. Yes, we did. We saw some videos. What did we see?
People talking.
We did. We watched some people talking. Were they grown-ups or were they children?
Children.
They were children. Do you remember there was a boy and he stumbled a bit in the middle and he forgot his words. He didn't cry, but he looked a bit worried. Did the audience start laughing then? No, they didn't. And what were the audience thinking?
Can't do this.
Come on, you can do it. Come on. Don't give up. You'll be fine.
I felt it was important that the children were confident and were able to cope with any anxieties or worries that they might have. So we worked for 2 weeks on developing self-confidence, looking at coping step plans, looking at protective behaviours and how your body might feel in different situations, and really unpicking that.
So what should we do?
Calm down.
How do we calm ourselves down? Oh, tell us.
Things are bleeding.
We can take some deep breaths. Can everybody practice? Take some deep breaths. Take some deep breaths. Now, we've seen those people, haven't we, doing their talks. And then, what did we do? What are all these things? What did we learn how to do? So we had to think, first of all, of what our idea was, what our presentation was all about.
I mean, I guess the main difference between this and any other project that is produced, that ends up with a broadcast, thinking is encouraged to be divergent, where you explore lots of avenues, you have lots of inputs, and that then produces kind of creative thoughts that you then want to carry on.
And what did you decide to do yours about? Grand Prix, Joseph, yours is about? Yours is about to play? Oh, to do that. Del, yours is all about?
Animals.
Holiday.
Football.
Music. So, we all thought about something that we really enjoy. What are all these things around here? Questions. Well done. So we wrote down questions. And that was about 7 weeks ago.
One of the processes that we've built in is this feedback loop around their presentations and around their ideas. So within a working wall in their classroom, each presentation has its own space. and myself and other staff in the school and visitors have been active in going into those spaces, contributing with post-it notes or making comments.
And people could come in and extend the thinking or feedback on the quality of what they see, and I think that genuinely had a kind of impact.
And what we did on our laptops?
Mine
Created our fabulous presentations using the ideas.
So we decided to use PowerPoint, and the children just zoomed ahead with the use of PowerPoint, where they would easily and readily and happily cut and paste, use Word, lots of different types of media, video, images, sound, clips, etc.
The fact that they've got presentations which they can keep coming back to, they can modify, they can develop, has been important, and the quantity of work and their enthusiasm for work, because it's been almost entirely written digitally, has been significantly different to that with pen and paper.
You also got an insight into the process through the media that they'd chosen. And I think there's a powerful thing about this kind of using PowerPoint as a messy kind of learning tool. We tend to use it as a final presentation tool, but here, you can actually see that there's kind of versions, version 1, version 6. You can see how the thing's been built up over time.
Part of the process for me was that I wanted to make sure that the children were working within the community as well. So I wanted to make the project real for them and interesting, and again have an ownership to their own project. So we planned for each child to go out on a visit within the community, within the town, where they would interview somebody based on their topic.
So the guy that was doing reptiles went to a reptile shop and interviewed them and felt the snake. And I think there's a dramatic kind of empathy that you get from these kind of immersion activities. So the guy that went to the Derngate, theatre and saw where these comedians genuinely do the stuff, I think it really produces a quality of learning that actually is a really authentic.
Or for Freddie, who's just so passionate about Formula One, he's been to Cosworth, and we've allowed him time to be divergent in his thinking, to follow his interests, to follow his train of thought, and to go and experience these different...
I'm just going to pause it there, because the final culmination of all of this project was that we worked collaboratively with the university, and each of the children, bearing in mind they all have got statements for their challenging difficulties that they have with their speech and language, they then stood on the stage in the lecture theatre at the university to an audience of more than 100 people, and they presented their presentation, which was just the most amazing feeling for each of the children. It was just a wonderful kind of finale. A bit further on, I think. So we see the children coming in here, we had children from school coming in, family and friends.
Finland, Italy, Spain, Switzerland, Brazil and America.
See, this is the
Independence. Baby, boys bent, and one dying.
So we've just finished the most amazing afternoon where we've seen 9 pupils from Simon Descendants present their hearts out to an audience of about 100 people. And for me, what was thrilling is the fact that when you give children real responsibility and ownership of their learning, genuine choice, then they challenge themselves and push themselves out of their comfort zone. And that's true of any and every child.
The great thing now
and
is
I think this is heartbeat.
the principles that we used are now being rolled out through the whole of the school, so it's been passed on, and those children were the people who really started it all off. So we're seeing how they are having an impact on the whole of the school. So thank you.